Yesterday, we saw a report from Sam Amick, I believe of The Athletic, saying that the Suns could fire Mike Budenholzer. Those are the type of Evan Sidery reports that piss me off. Oh, a source told me the Suns could fire Mike Budenholzer. Okay. One unnamed source in the NBA that we don't know if they're credible or not said that the Suns could fire Mike Budenholzer. Okay, cool. I also have an unnamed source that said Mike Budenholzer might just walk away from the team. It's all nonsense. But in the spirit of sports discussion, I'll discuss it. I don't believe anything Sam Amick has to say, especially recently when it comes to basketball reporting. I think he might actually be of Sportico. But I don't believe a lot of what Sam Amick has to say. Most of that comes from my co-host, Brendan Clean of Locked On Phoenix Suns, who I trust tremendously. And sometimes people think we don't like each other. I love Brendan. Brendan is an elite person for me to do work with and to partner up with. But let's just talk about it. Should Mike Budenholzer be fired? I'm going to give you the unpopular opinion, and I don't have a good reasoning for it. I am willing to lose every single argument when it comes to defending Mike Budenholzer as the Suns head coach next season. And it all stems from, I just don't want to hire another coach. 4 coaches in 4 years. What would it be? Monty Williams, Frank Vogel, Mike Budenholzer, and whoever the Suns hire next year. I can't get my arms around that. And then it leads me to believe this. Who are you going to hire? Again, it goes back to my arguments for when it was trading Kyler Murray or it was whatever, blow up the Suns. Regardless, forget all of that. You want to get rid of Mike Budenholzer, then what? I just don't think you are going to get the hire you want when you continuously fire head coaches, because no one's going to want that job with zero job security. I'm willing to die on the sword of the Suns should keep Mike Budenholzer, but I'm willing to do it in such a strange way. I'm willing to admit I am probably wrong on this. I get it. The issue is, I understand his rotations don't make any sense. I understand his relationship with players might be fractured. I get all of that. But what are you supposed to do? And at some point, Monty Williams, Frank Vogel, Mike Budenholzer, potentially whoever the Suns hire next year, at what point do we point the finger at the players? Because I get it. Why Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro have just been on ice for the last 2 months while Bradley Beal has been continuously in and out of the lineups for some reason, I can't get my arms around that. None of it makes any sense. His rotations don't make any sense. Inserting Bol into the lineup and then taking him out doesn't make any sense. Ryan Dunn being put on ice, Oso Ighodaro being put on ice for 2 months while we're just trying to figure out where to put Bradley Beal. Colin Gillespie starting, Tyus Jones can not even crack the lineup, but then when you start Colin Gillespie, he's only going to play 12 minutes, and then Tyus Jones is going to play 27 minutes. I get it. None of it makes any sense. But my whole thing is this. I don't think the Suns are going to be championship contenders next year anyways. So you might as well just see it through with Bud. And there is an interesting thing to me that I thought, that I saw on, I can't take credit for this because it's not mine, and that's not what I do. I'm not Evan Sidery. But I saw Colin Cowherd put out this yesterday, and it was because I was watching The Herd, and my interaction with Kevin Durant got mentioned on The Herd, and I just thought it was funny. But I was watching it, and in that, when they had talked about my interaction, which was very brief, I'm not the star of the show, Colin Cowherd had said, maybe Bud is trying to send a message to the players because he knows Kevin Durant is not going to be there next year. He's trying to send a message to the rest of the team of, this is my team. We're going to do things my way. I won't be bossed around. And I thought that was interesting for Colin Cowherd to say that, because it does make a little bit of sense. If you know Kevin Durant is out the door anyways, 1 foot out, you can even argue both feet out, but still kind of in the mix, why would you cater to him? And that's why you're fighting with him. Because maybe you're sending a message to the players that will be on this team next year, which is probably only going to be like a quarter of the roster. Hey, I'm not playing around. It's not your way or the highway. It's my way or the highway. And I kind of respect that if that's the case Mike Budenholzer is going to. I get it. The rest of the stuff doesn't make any sense. Not playing the energy guys, starting Colin Gillespie, but then putting Tyus Jones in to play most of the game. Oso, Iguodala, and Ryan Dunn being put on ice for 2 months. Bradley Beal being in the lineup, Bradley Beal being out of the lineup. I get all of that. Schematics, X's and O's, none of it makes any sense. And Brendan had also told me last night, he goes, well, listen, if I just told you, forget Monty, forget Vogel, and I just said Bud, did he do a good job this year? Yes or no? And I would say no. I would say he probably should be fired on that merit alone. But there's more nuance than that. Vogel was there. Monty was there. And at some point, we have to point the finger at the players. We cannot just point it at the head coach. And I get that we're talking about this now. The Suns won by 40 last night. We should be thankful that they finally won a game. But I just want to continue to divvy up the blame here accordingly and for what team and what player. And it goes back as well to what I said before. You want to fire Mike Budenholzer, then what? You want to hire some assistant? I mean, I've seen some people say Jared Dudley. I don't know where you go. You know, Brian, it's very interesting that you say, is Ben's hair got a purple tint to it? Or is it my video all messed up? I thought, just quick tangent here. Yesterday, Katie's buddy was reacting to another one of my videos that I put out, so I went and watched some of it. And he said the same thing. He said, does Ben hair have a purple tint to it? Or is it just my video? I don't know. I do not have any purple in my hair. I will never dye my hair, ever. Listen, I'm just thankful that it's still here and plentiful right now at 27 years old. But no, I did not dye my hair. It's just the lighting in the background that I thought people enjoyed. And I'm like this close to taking it away because now people think I have purple hair. So no purple tint to anything. Although I do think that's hilarious and not offended by that at all. I think it's great. So no, that is, I am answering that question now. Anyways, the Budenholzer stuff as well continues to be interesting because as the season continues to spiral down the drain, aside from last night, I'm curious to see how the blame will get divvied up and who it's going to get blamed on. And if you're already getting rid of Kevin Durant, and Bud doesn't get along with him, and you potentially get rid of Bradley Beal, and Bud doesn't get along with him, well then whatever. Why would you get rid of Bud anyways? The only thing that trumps all of this, that trumps the 4 coaches in 4 years argument, that trumps his rotations are off argument, my side of keep Budenholzer, and the other side of don't keep Budenholzer. The only thing that trumps all of that is if Devin Booker walks into Matt Ishbia's office and says, hey, it's either me or that guy. Because we know who they're picking, Devin Booker. So if he walks in there and says, I want Bud here or get him the hell out of here, you either keep him or get him the hell out of here. Doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what Devin Booker thinks. And at the end of the day, that's what I go to. So I'm still begrudgingly keep Coach Bud, although I don't necessarily think I have a great leg to stand on here. I just don't like the 4 coaches in 4 years thing, guys. I don't know who you're supposed to get. And then to the point that my guy Michael made earlier in the chat, how many coaches is it going to take? 6? I don't know. I can't get there.